having a lot of issues with this camera. I'm hoping that I'm in focus. Problem is, I can't tell. So I'm just hoping we're in focus. We're having a lot of... I've been having some trouble here in the US. I had an implant put in, $6,000. Lasted less than 6 months, and now it's coming out, eroding the bone, and really becoming quite a problem. So now I've got to have an oral surgeon. I got to pay an oral surgeon to come and take this thing out, do another bone graft, that's about $1,000, and then wait 6 months with a hole in my mouth and try it all over again. The US needs universal health care. But that's not what I'm here to talk about, believe me. And if you hear clicking and weird sounds that are coming out of my mouth, it's because of the implant difficulty. I'm scheduled to get in next month, about 4 to 5 weeks. God, it's going to be such a pain until then. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm just venting. Let's talk about something really important that's happening on the planet, and that's the plastic pollution. I know I've talked about this before in my videos quite a bit, but it's a serious problem that needs to be addressed. So let's go over to the board and see what's going on over there. So I was going to talk about specific things that's happening in the ocean. Then I wanted you to go watch a video. Down in the description area I have the link that kind of ties all this together. It's very short, but very, very to the point. Does that make any sense? So, what is microplastic? Microplastic is something that companies make for facial cleansings and soaps and body care for humans. The problem with this is that you're making microbeads out of plastic. Plastic keeps breaking down over year after year after year, getting smaller and smaller, being digested by fish, and on up the food chain, right up into us, where we're ingesting plastic. What is wrong with ingesting plastic? Well, unfortunately, as it floats around the ocean, it absorbs all the pollution that's in the ocean. The pesticides, the flame retardants, and the motor oil are the main ones. When they take these bits of plastic that have been floating in the ocean, they find high residues of these chemicals and compounds, which then are digested and end up inside of us, causing us to be sick. So these microplastics are made of many types of plastics. What you can do about it is don't buy anything with microplastic in it. Get used to looking at the labels. Labels and ingredient lists are so important. Yeah, they're small. You may have to get some sharper glasses or a little magnifying glass to see them, but they are visible and they are important for us to read. There's another type of plastic, and that's the type of plastic that's been broken down by ocean. As it breaks down, it starts to sink into the ocean column, and these little tiny particles are swept up by the smallest living thing, and these particles build up into your stomach. Because they're not food, they never turn on the digestive system in the stomach, and the fish and the animals that are eating this stuff end up starving to death. So microplastic also comes from clothing. A huge amount of it comes from polyester, nylon, and acrylic. Now, polyester flakes as you're walking along, and if you're wearing something polyester, little bits and pieces of this polyester are falling, which are plastic, falling to the ground and end up in the water. There isn't any place on the planet where you can go where there isn't plastic on the seashore. Now, plastic bags, there's over 500 billion bags are used worldwide every year. That ends up being 1 million bags every minute. People are using plastic bags, mostly for shopping. Crazy when we have all kinds of alternatives. Cloth bags, biodegradable bags made of cornstarch. Each bag takes about 300 years to photodegrade. That just means gets into smaller and smaller pieces. So plastic never, ever goes away. And let's not forget that every single piece of plastic, every microbead, every television screen, every throwaway piece of plastic, everything that has been made of plastic is still on the planet today and will be there for at least another 200 years, if not longer. The only way plastic goes away is either it's burnt and turns into a toxic air pollution, or it ends up being ground down into the earth and eventually in billions of years will be melted into the rock. So how many animals do die each year from eating plastic? How about 100,000 marine animals die each year? And that's only the ones that they know of. You know, we can do a lot as citizens about the plastic problem, not using it, especially one-use plastic. And one other issue, let's say we were to recycle all this plastic and turn it into other plastic things. Wouldn't that just be sort of starting the whole mess over? Plastic really has very limited use on the planet Earth and shouldn't be used for a lot of things. Unfortunately, most everything we buy now has something to do with plastic. Even my new glasses, plastic, both the frame and the glasses. However, these frames will probably last for years and years, but they will still become part of the problem, not part of the solution. But we can only do what we can do, but at least try to not use plastic. Reuse reusable bags when you go shopping, and use glass for storing food. The lid, well, that's a whole nother story, isn't it? Plastic. So, I certainly do appreciate you guys doing what you can, and your comments are always welcome. I love reading them. I know that YouTube is really screwing around with my channel and other people's channel. They feel that if you tell the truth or talk about science or politics, that you don't belong on YouTube and you're not Disneyfied enough. Sorry, I can't become Disneyfied. It doesn't work for me. So, until next time.